So with Drummers Collective, it sounds to me like they were really going along the lines of teaching conceptual exercises so that you can then take that and make it your own. And so we got to talk about your new book.
All right.
Snare book. This is the third book now through Alfred Music Publishing. Also, you have the Groove book and the Fill book, which came before these. So you were saying to me briefly that with this book, we're dealing more with concepts. You told me it was a little bit different of a hand-strengthening book. So if you could break down, I suppose we could start with first the seed and the idea to write the book and what you're trying to accomplish with this.
Okay. So when I always wanted to write books, right? Because I have so many. I really have. I will write at least 3 more because I already know what I want to talk about. Okay.
Yeah, right on.
And so I never knew how I should structure it because there is a tendency to write a book which covers every topic, and because you want to also prove that you know about everything, maybe this is it. And then I decided not to do that, so write a book only about grooves, write a book only about fills, and then snare exercises, because I teach at one university in Germany where Annika also studied, so it's very good drummers. And I totally enjoy to play on a pad with them, in a round. It's good for the group, and also my thing is to give them exercises with 2 different ingredients. Both ingredients are really easy to understand, and then they'll be like, yeah, okay, I can play 4 strokes with each hand, no problem. And then I'll be like, yeah, but now accent every third.
Okay.
While still playing every 4 strokes.
Yeah.
And that's a very good technique builder, because you have accents followed by unaccented notes, vice versa with both hands, and it strengthens your inner pulse, because you still have to keep track of the 4 notes, and then you have to hear the different rhythm that you have to play on top of that, and so these exercises are not like books from the US are, which are heavily based on rudiments most of the time.
Okay.
We don't have that rudimental culture in Germany. So to be really honest, rudiments, everybody says, yeah, you got to practice your rudiments. And I'm always, now I say it out loud, but normally I'm always putting a question mark behind that sentence.
Interesting.
Because I'm always asking, why? Right? Okay, and then the answer might be, you will improve your snare technique. Yeah, that's a great answer, definitely. But then if you don't want to use like blocks of rudiments in your playing, which I don't, then again I'll be like, maybe I can, of course you still play a single stroke roll, double stroke roll, but maybe I can combine these rolls with different accentuations which are not in the rudiments, to be able to apply them more musically.
Right.
And at the same time I will still improve my hands.
Yeah.
So if you ask me what is rudiment 26, I'll be like, I don't know.
Right.
I have to look it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Of course I know.
That's very interesting.
Of course I know flams and stuff. So I always practice the stuff that I will use on the kit.
Yeah.
And that will help me being more versatile with the rhythmic ideas. And of course, I know people say, okay, you can use a paradiddle diddle and play a 6/8 kind of feel.
Right.
Of course, yeah, that's true. But that's not the way I approach it. I will always be like, I want to play a 6/8 kind of feel.
Yeah.
How can I maybe change the sticking from the original Afro-Cuban 6/8, make it still sound good, and then the rudiments don't help me achieving that.
Right.
It might be different for other people, but so this is not a rudiment book. Definitely not. There's no need for another rudiment book.
Wow.
So it's more like...
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that last statement for sure.
So I think, and with all of the 3 books, all the exercises are really fun because they challenge you in ways that keep you engaged and that also enable you to come up with your own stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I was just about to say too, because like if I relate it to reading, like back in the day, whenever I'd read a book, I couldn't help but think at the same time, and then I find myself rereading. Yeah. It's only been recently now that I could finally shut off the thoughts and just consume the book.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and stay engaged within the novel and think about what I'm reading, not about other things that are distracting me from the read. Right. You know what I mean? So I know that you said something, I think it's in your blog, and you're talking about like with rudiments and stuff like that, or going through hand technique and stickings and stuff, that sometimes it's difficult for you to also remain engaged and focused on the practice. Right. And that was like a thing that you're trying to strongly address in this book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, technique is, of course, it's mechanical also, right? You need to develop the mechanical ability to play certain things. Mm-hmm. No doubt about that. But then I think the way you approach things mentally makes a big difference. And by that I mean, how good is your ear? How good can you really hear this rhythm on top of that sticking?
Right.
Are you really able to play any rhythm while you play single strokes, let's say in eighth note triplets? Do you automatically accent the right hand, or is it a problem?
Right.
And so, but this is the stuff you always need on the kit, right? Because you might play some music, there's a phrase, and you want to play that phrase, so you need to be able to hear the phrase in relation to the quarter note pulse, and then make your hands play the phrase. So that's more what keeps me engaged. So there's the rhythmic side, and the technical side is more like, that's the tool.
I see.
That's only a tool. And because the rhythmical side always changes, that keeps me engaged. You can't just be like, it's not, okay, single strokes, right?
Yeah.
Just do it for 10 minutes every day. It's like, oh no, it's so boring to me.
Yeah. No. So to me too.
It would be more interesting to play single strokes, and then maybe change the subdivision to subdivision that is still very common, but not so common for you. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't go like for quintuplets first, maybe eighth note triplets, and then try to play different rhythms in that subdivision using single strokes.
Okay.
So that makes you better. It really makes you technically better, but also a better musician.
Wow. Okay. Well, that sounds really, really cool.